name is Claudette Laureano, and it is my very pleasant duty to welcome you here on behalf of Breck School. Claudette Laureano and all of the other musicians and artists whose combined talents went into the creation of this concert called Disney's Wonderful World of Music. What you're going to hear tonight are the sounds of young musicians performing some of the best loved music that Walt Disney used in his movies to entertain millions of adults and children since the first Mickey Mouse movie, Plane Crazy, which was a silent film that debuted in 1928. Tonight, each orchestra will perform music from animated films, plus a classical piece from Walt's original Fantasia, created in 1940, and also Fantasia 2000. In 1936, Walt Disney felt that the Disney's studio star character, Mickey Mouse, needed a boost in popularity. He decided to feature the mouse in The Sorcerer's Apprentice, a deluxe cartoon short based on the poem by Goethe and set to the orchestral piece by Paul Dukas, inspired by the original tale. The concept of matching animation to classical music was used as early as 1928 in Disney cartoon series, The Silly Symphonies. But he wanted to go beyond the usual slapstick and produce shorts where sheer fantasy unfolds. Action controlled by a musical pattern has great charm in the realm of unreality. To begin this evening's concert, please welcome the Ensemble da Capo with concertmaster Romilly Seddon, performing When You Wish Upon a Star, music from Jurassic Park, and the Russian dance from Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker Ballet. 60s, we would be remiss if music from the delightful and enchanting movie Mary Poppins was not represented at this concert. Mary Poppins was the lead character in a series of books written by P.L. Travers. The books center on a magical English nanny who is blown in by the east wind to number 17 Cherry Tree Lane in London, and into the Banks household to care for their two children, Jane and Michael. The books were adapted by Disney in 1964 and made into a musical starring Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke. That's Dick Van Dyke. The movie received 13 Academy Award nominations, an unsurpassed record for any other film released by the Walt Disney Studios. It won 5 awards, including Best Actress, Best Film Editing, Best Original Score, Best Visual Effects, and Best Original Song for Chim Chim Cheree, which you will be hearing this evening. Please welcome the Camerata Chamber Orchestra with Concertmaster Teddy Childs as they perform music from the movie Mary Poppins and from Fantasia, Ponchielli's Dance of the Hours from La Gioconda. One of my absolute favorite moments of that movie has to be the alligator courting the hippopotamus. It's somewhat an unusual sight, but it took the studios of Walt Disney to come up with craziness that somehow managed to make sense for all of us. Here are the Camerata Chamber Orchestra. One of the most touching movies ever created by Disney is the 1941 movie Dumbo. It is the story of a little elephant who is teased and ridiculed because of his enormous ears. When his mother, Mrs. Jumbo, protects her baby from the cruelty, he endures, she is labeled a mad, dangerous elephant and is isolated from the baby and the rest of the pack. Both Dumbo and Mrs. Jumbo are heartbroken to be separated. So, Brooklyn-accented Timothy Mouse, one of the heroes in the movie, takes Dumbo to visit his mother. In this heart-rending, emotional scene, we hear the award-winning song, Baby Mine, with music composed by Frank Churchill, lyrics by Ned Washington, and sung by Betty Noyes in the original recording. It is wonderfully tender and brings tears to many of us, no matter how many times we've seen it. I think you can tell Claudette wrote the script. To begin the lyric ensemble's performance, they will perform the upbeat song, A Spoonful of Sugar, from the hit movie Mary Poppins. Please welcome the lyric ensemble with concertmaster William Oberlies as they perform music from the movies Dumbo, Mary Poppins, and along with the Waltz from the Nutcracker Suite by Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky. Fantasia 2000 is a 1999 American animated anthology film produced by Walt Disney Feature Animation and released by Walt Disney Pictures. That's a very long way of saying it's a really cool movie. It is the 38th film in the Walt Disney Animated Classic series and the sequel to the 1940 film Fantasia. As with its predecessor, the film consists of animated segments set to pieces of classical music, with The Sorcerer's Apprentice being the only segment that is featured in both films. The soundtrack was performed by the Chicago Symphony Orchestra with the conductor James Levine. I'm just curious, how many of you remember which orchestra was featured in the original 1940 film? Anybody just blurt it out? It's a Philadelphia orchestra, and who conducted? Leopold Stokowski. The idea of a sequel to Fantasia was the brainchild of Roy Disney, Walt's nephew. 16 years after he first thought of the idea, the production for Fantasia 2000 began in 1990. The film is noted for using a combination of computer-generated imagery on top of hand-drawn animation. Appropriately, the movie was premiered in no other place than Carnegie Hall in New York City on December 17th, 1999. It was part of a 5-city concert tour with additional performances in London, Paris, Tokyo, and California. Fantasia 2000 opened in the United States on June 16th, 2000, and has earned over $90 million in gross revenue worldwide. Please welcome the String Orchestra as they perform music from Fantasia 2000 and selections from The Little Mermaid.
She's a princess.
There is only one work on this evening's program that is not music from a Walt Disney movie. Bella Ciao, meaning Goodbye Beautiful, dates back to the 19th century. It was originally an Italian protest folk song lamenting the harsh working conditions of the Mondina workers in the paddy fields of northern Italy. The song's lyrics were modified in the 1940s to tell the story of a young man who bids farewell to his love to join the Italian partisans during World War II. The words are, quote, "And if I die as a partisan, then you must bury me up in the mountain, under the shade of a beautiful flower, and all those who pass will tell me, what a beautiful flower. This is the flower of the partisan who died for freedom." Please welcome Concertmaster Vladimir Zipper and the Breck Chamber Players as they begin their portion of tonight's Stringfest concert.
is always a bittersweet time for me when we come to this portion of our program. It is that special moment when I get to honor and pay tribute to my seniors, all of whom have been with me for a very long time. This year, we will recognize 3 people who have been leaders, role models, and friends to so many. Will you please stand up when I call your name? Corinne Moran. Corinne began playing the violin at age 8. She went through the 4th grade rotation and came into the orchestra program in the 5th grade. Since she had a good technical foundation, by the time she joined orchestra, she went directly into the more advanced levels during her years in the program. Some of Corinne's best memories were when we would run around the school and play music for each division, affectionately known as art attacks. They were often unannounced and sometimes even unplanned. We would just get up and go. I'm sure it was a funny sight to see an entire group of musicians carrying instruments and stands and me pushing a cart of chairs, running from one end of the building to the other, stopping to play a piece or two along the way. I always loved those spontaneous performances, and I will miss doing them with you, Corinne. Corinne will be attending Duke Kushan, I'm sure I said it wrong, but University in China next year, and she will major in biology. Lee May began her violin career at the age of 6 and has been playing for 12 years. She was in the 4th grade rotation and also decided to join the orchestra program in the 5th grade. The summer before Lee May played in the Breck Orchestra, she attended Encore, a summer music camp that I was conducting through the MacPhail Center of Music. After 10 days of rehearsing, we became close and we have remained so to this very day. One of Lee May's best orchestra memories was during her freshman year at the annual Breck Chamber Players Retreat, which took place during the pandemic. Lee May said, "We were all 6 feet apart and masked up, but I won't ever forget how nice and welcoming everyone was. It was fun, and it was nice playing with everyone in person after not having been able to for a while." I have watched Lee May grow from a sweet, very shy little girl into a beautiful and confident young woman who has a very bright future ahead of her. She will be attending Middlebury College in Vermont next year and plans to study biology. Annika Wilson. Annika is my first grad student from Breck that I have ever graduated. Her mom, Kirsten, and her aunt, Nisa, were both in my Breck Orchestra program back in the 1980s. I know I don't look that old, but believe me. I was lucky enough to meet Annika during the 4th grade rotation and got to work with her since the 5th grade. Like our other seniors, Annika began the cello at a very young age and progressed steadily throughout her orchestra career so that she played mostly in the advanced ensembles. Annika believes that she learned the value of good practice and gained an appreciation for music and music history throughout her years in the orchestra program. Attitude is everything, and the one thing that I was always able to count on from Annika was a warm smile and a willingness to work and focus intensely in class. I am proud of her accomplishments and wish her all the best for a very promising future. Annika is planning to attend Colgate University next year and is thinking of majoring in psychology or pre-med.
have our own little speeches for Mrs. Laureano to say thank you for the past 8 years. I started playing cello in kindergarten and had no idea what was in store for me. After making it through the 4th grade rotation, I auditioned and then was placed in the 5th and 6th Advanced Orchestra, beginning my 8 years with Mrs. Laureano. It has certainly been quite the ride, including middle school ice cream parties, orchestra camp, 1 failed audition, Zoom lessons on key signatures, and numerous retreats. Over time, I have definitely grown thicker skin, but I've also learned a lot. I learned about working hard, the importance of practice, and so much about all kinds of music. Mrs. Laureano, your passion and skill for music never cease to amaze and inspire me. I am truly proud to have been one of your players. Thank you for everything.
Miss Laureano, I still remember vividly meeting you for the first time during my 4th grade rotation. I do remember I had so much fun that I stayed in orchestra for another 8 years. I've truly enjoyed all my time spent working with you. I've learned so much, not only about music, but all the other amazing life skills that you've helped me develop. I've learned about dedication, passion, and that I can always use more bow. I can truthfully say that pretty much anything I need to know I've learned in the orchestra room. I can't thank you enough for all that you've done for me. Thank you so, so much.
Mrs. Laureano, you have been the best mentor, teacher, and friend. I'm truly inspired by your passion for music and have never known a teacher that cares about her students as much as you do. I have learned so many important skills and life lessons while being in your orchestra, and I'm grateful for having been part of such a special and talented group of players. I will always have fond memories of orchestra. Thank you so much for everything.
Wow, they're amazing. I want to give you my heartfelt thanks, Eric Gustafson, for all the help that you've given me in the last 3 days, setting lights, moving equipment, video recording the concert, and taking care of all the technical demands of tonight's program. He is an outstanding and incredible man to work with. He's always there if you need him, and even if you don't, he comes up and says, "Can I help you?" So he's wonderful. Thank you for everything you've done. I want to thank Isaiah Rustad for his photography, because he's going to take some great pictures, right? And thank you for also putting us on Instagram yesterday. Hopefully somebody saw it and came because they saw it. A big thank you to Joan and John Rex, Carla Rosenman, Sherry Mitchell, and Carol Chappell, and all the parents who helped contribute and organize the reception that will follow this evening's concert. I know this is a highlight of the evening for many of my students. Manny, you're a first-class act, and I gotta say, MC and partner, not necessarily in that order, that I have ever worked with. I really could not have asked for a better partner in life. Thank you for all your work, and thank you for coming in and working with my groups this week. If you were lucky enough to work with Mr. Laureano, I know you had a good time, and he's not even as scary as I am, is he? So, yeah, it was good. Thank you, parents, for giving your children a music education and supporting them through the joys and frustrations of learning an instrument. It is a lifelong gift, And as you have heard tonight, your child will have an appreciation and an understanding for music for years to come. Finally, I want to thank my students for all their hard work and extraordinary effort to put this program together. It gives me great joy to make music with every single one of you, and I'm thankful that you are such an important part of my life. You are the reason I am at Breck. At this time, I'd like to invite all the strings to please carefully come down the steps and get ready for our final piece.
I may as well just start. There was something very special and different to Claudette and me when we first saw The Little Mermaid in 1989. It was beautifully animated, and there were the typical heroes, villains, but there was something that stood out more in this movie than any other animated Disney film up to that time. This was the first time that we ever remembered seeing a big production number in true Hollywood fashion. Something that has now become really standard in all Disney movies. We all wait for that one big number where everybody sings, has a great kick chorus to it, slows up, and then speeds up, comes to a rousing finish. I love that part of the Disney movies. Seeing it for the first time on the big screen was thrilling, with the color, the sound, the energy, the humor, and the wonderful calypso beat. The music for Under the Sea is one of the most memorable Disney tunes ever composed. Please welcome back to the stage all of the Breck Strings with Concertmaster Nime Sowinski as they perform the wonderful and catchy music Under the Sea from the movie The Little Mermaid.